Advertisements for VR games and experiences are horrible. The reason I say this is because nothing feels worse than going into a live stream, seeing people get really excited for a trailer, to then just be really angry that it's a VR exclusive. As someone in VR, it's disappointing. And truthfully, it's kind of saddening because I can tell as someone inside of the VR community that it's going to be a VR game, like within 5 seconds. However, if you are someone that's not inside the VR community, it seems to be very hard to differentiate what is a flat screen game and what is a VR game. And I think that the advertising around VR needs to change as a whole so that all rising tides can raise all ships. When I talk about a rising tide that raises all ships, I'm talking about advertisers understanding that at this point in time, they're not just selling their game. They are also selling VR to people. They are selling essentially these consoles to people, whether that be PC VR or Quest Standalone. You are selling whatever you are advertising for. So if you're advertising your Quest 2 game, you are advertising for a Quest headset, a Quest VR headset, and getting new people in the door for VR. That is something that I think is being lost on advertising for VR, because the advertising that we're seeing right now is essentially veterans of flat games that have come over to VR and are advertising them in the same way. VR is so small right now that we are probably the smallest section of modern day gaming currently because of how little we have in form of hardware in the ecosystem. So keep in mind, when you are advertising your VR game, you need to find a way to stand out and show people that you are VR first. When you are advertising to people that are already in VR, we get it. We understand it. It's VR. We're hyped for it. We understand the mechanics, how it works, and all that good stuff. But people outside VR see these trailers and they can't tell the difference between a flat game and a VR game. And I don't think it's just because they're looking at it on a flat screen. I think that we're not doing enough to show the difference between playing a VR version of a game and playing a flat screen version of a game. Why can't people tell the difference? Well, it seems that we have decided that advertising for VR doesn't need to be any different from how we advertise flat screen games. And I'm not saying this because we are advertising on a flat screen. I'm saying this because we aren't doing anything different in VR advertising. And when we do, it is very rare to see. So think of this. You're seeing a flat screen game trailer. It comes up, in-game footage, in-engine, or CGI, whatever it is. And someone's pressing a number pad, reloading a weapon, swinging their sword. They're doing all these things. And then a VR trailer comes up where you're also doing those things. Someone's pressing a button. Someone's swinging a sword. Someone's reloading a weapon. And you know what? It looks just like the last trailer because these flat screen trailers are trying to look like they have realistic movement. They are showing off pre-scripted events that look real. And since VR is real and you are physically pressing those buttons, swinging that sword and reloading that weapon, it doesn't look any different to someone that is outside of VR. So whenever you're advertising your games, you need to do what many other VR games have done in the past. Beat Saber, Pistol Whip, Noun Town, all these games show off mixed reality really well. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely a wrong way to do it, and I've put some trailers in here that just look really bad for mixed reality. But if done correctly, it's going to help these people make that connection, which is why Beat Saber is so popular, other than it just being music and having really great music in it. People seeing this person moving and dodging these walls that are coming at them, actually slashing these boxes, physically doing these things helps them understand that someone physically had to press that button code for that number pad. Someone physically had to swing that sword. Someone physically had to reload that weapon. Unless you're Firewall Ultra, you need to be showing off mixed reality in your trailers when you are selling your game. Again, we are so small that VR isn't really necessarily understood well within the flat gaming community. So when you show off a superimposed image of your player on top of your VR game, pressing those buttons and swinging that sword, that shows them and helps them understand what you are actually doing and what VR actually is. In turn, rising tides raise all ships. You sell more headsets for whoever, while you will also sell more copies of your game. That being said, I want to thank everyone for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. If you disagree, leave a comment below. Let me know why you disagree. My name is Butter Something. I want to thank all of you for watching, and I'll see all of you in the next video.